Yeah, but Max was, I mean, that was the definite play, the value, the 60-1. I mean, that was the bet.
Yeah, great value on Max. I mean, for a guy he's won two big tournaments, won the Wells and the Genesis Tigers tournament. So, yeah, a buddy of mine called me up Thursday morning. Thank Christ it was the tournament didn't start till 10, and he was like, "Yeah, I took all your guys." This was at like 9:00. He's like, "Except the mental health guy. I can't get behind that guy." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, the mental health guy, Homa." I'm like, "Dude, you're thinking of the wrong guy. That's Wolf." And then I was like, "You better go bet Homa. He's my favorite player of the week." So we bet Homa, thank Christ. But like, imagine if he didn't get it. Thank Christ the tournament was in Cali. Got that bet in on Homa. So
yeah,
that was nice.
That's good. That was the guy who sent us the Stu Finer thing too. So he's a good listener.
Yeah, you can't. He doesn't like to bet the mental health guys. Anytime I bet Wolf, which is not many times, but the couple times I have, he wouldn't take him just because of the mental health thing.
Well, it worked out for him because he didn't win. So anything else? Anything else on this event, or you want to move on to the Ryder Cup?
No, great way to start the season. Great way to start the season. Love it. Let's get into the Ryder Cup.
All right. So obviously we're being hosted in the United States this year. I was at Le Golf National in France the last time we played it, and the Europeans kind of whooped the United States' ass pretty much. I mean, it was 17.5 to 10.5. They've won 7 out of 9. But the U.S. has won the last 2 out of 3 in the United States. So this year we're at Whistling Straits, a course that many would say is a great setup for the United States team. It's a par 72.
Is it 72 or playing? I think it's playing par 71 this week.
Okay.
They changed it.
All right. If it's playing par 71, 70, almost 7,800 yards. It's a long course, bent grass greens, Pete Dye design. It hosted a PGA in 2010 and 2015. Jason Day won that one in 2015. And I think off the tee is important. Long courses, a little Pete Dye stuff. Anything to add there, Blake? You're a Ryder Cup historian, so what do you think?
Yeah, I was on Day in 2015. He outdueled Spieth. That was a very cool viewing experience. I love this course right on Lake Michigan. Weather I think is going to be a factor on Lake Michigan. Seeing some wind, especially Friday and Saturday, so that could play into the Euros' favor. But if you look at it, Spieth, DJ, they're all great wind players. So I don't know.
Yes. So I kind of just want to go over, like, what do we think is going to happen here? You know, we have, like, what's your overall take on the match?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think the U.S. is going to steamroll Europe. I think it's going to be Hazeltine all over when they won 17-11. I just think the course setup is perfect for them this time. I mean, barely any rough. They're going to let the big dogs eat. Let the big dogs eat. Bryson, Brooks, DJ, let those guys eat. And then JT, Spieth, X, and Cantlay. Those are probably going to be their two big lineups that they're going to go at it. Let them do their thing. I'm very confident in those 4 guys. And then I also think this is a big factor here. This is the first time Tiger and Phil haven't been on a Ryder Cup team since 1993. And it's tough pairing those 2 guys together. Or not together. Tough getting pairings for those 2 guys. I know Phil had the Keegan Bradley pairing, which was good for a little bit. Tiger's never really had a good guy who is Tiger paired well with? Can anybody think of that? You don't think of Tiger in Ryder Cup golf at all because he hasn't had any success, very minimal success. Feel like he's kind of embraced the team golf as he's gotten older. So, but when he was younger, he was a young killer. It was all him. It was basically Brooks's motto was Tiger back then. And I just think this is a new age for U.S. Ryder Cup golf. There's not a lot of scar tissue with these guys. You get 6 rookies, so 6 guys haven't even been involved, half the team. DJ is the elder statesman for the team. He's 37.
Yep.
And then the last 3 times in the U.S., the Ryder Cup has been played all in the Midwest. You get 2016, U.S. steamrolled them 17-11 at Hazeltine, which is in Minnesota. 2012, you had the miracle at Medina, but the U.S. was pounding going into Sunday, 10-6, and Euros kind of some payback for Brookline in '99. Euros came back, won a close one, and then in 2008, Valhalla in Kentucky, U.S. won 16.5 to 11.5, and that squad was horrific. Look it up. Tiger didn't play on that squad. That squad was bad. I don't know how Azinger even got them to win. I was looking at a picture of it. The only guy I recognized was Phil. I think I saw like Chad Campbell on that in the picture.
Wow,
which is weird. So, while if this was in Europe, I would agree that the Euros would. Everybody just has this narrative that the Euros own the Americans. I just don't agree with that in America. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
That being said, Euros can win in America. America hasn't proved that they can win in Europe. Like I don't think they can. Like they were close in 2014 at Celtic Manor. I think it was like 14.5 to 13.5. But other than that, they get walloped every fucking time. And then I just think the big narrative is the Euros own them, and the U.S. doesn't pick the right players and they don't care about the Ryder Cup. They've been hearing this for the last 3 years now, and I just feel like it's all going to bust through this weekend, and the U.S. is going to take it down big. And lastly, the fans. This place is going to be rocking. This has become a massive event, and I just feel like the U.S. is going to overwhelm them with the course fit, bombers, no rough, and the overall emotion is just going to will them to a big, big win. It's going to be a big win for America this weekend. That's my overall take.
Okay.
I know you're a Euro guy, so let's hear that side.
So I am a Euro guy, and it does seem like the overwhelming consensus is what you just said, right? I've heard most people say that. Now, looking back, 2018, was this, a lot of people said in France, Euros have a good chance. But there are definitely a lot of people saying that they think that U.S. is going to steamroll to it because the team is just way better. So I think that, the Europeans have only been favored once ever in a Ryder Cup.
But 2018, the course was the major factor why the Euros, why the Americans struggled.
I agree, but was that the narrative going into it, or was that more?
Oh, it was the narrative. It was the narrative going into it. It was the rough. They grew the rough up.
Yep.
And it was a short track.
Yeah, I remember that. Here's what I think. I do agree. I think that's the most likely scenario. With that being said, I don't think it's as obvious as everyone is making it out to be. I don't think it's.
But I don't think people are making it out to be that obvious. I feel like people are just saying bet Euro because Euro owns us and they win all the time.
I haven't heard much of that. I've heard Euro. I heard the U.S. is going to pound.
See, completely opposite of what I'm hearing.
Okay, but then again,
you go on Golf Channel and they're like, the Euros have won 7 out of 9.
Yeah, I don't watch.
They have a better mindset. All this, they pick better. They pick their players based on fit. So I don't know. I just think the American team, they didn't get walloped in Europe, in France last time. I don't know. I guess the only scenario, I can't see Europe pounding the U.S.
No.
I can see Europe winning in a close one. Like, what's the line right now? U.S. minus 190? I wouldn't bet that.
I'm seeing like 200. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can bet that number.
The best value to bet is Europe. I agree with that. I think the U.S. is going to pound them. I'm not betting minus 200. Fuck that.
Right. I mean, I agree with that. So I think there's no bet. It's a no bet. It's either the U.S. pounds them, or it's a close game.
I wouldn't say it's a no bet. I could condone a Europe bet. I'm not going to do it, but if you're betting this thing, I think the only bet is Europe.
Right. So I said that wrong. It's either U.S. pounds them or Europe wins in a close one. That's what I think. I think if it's close, Euro has a great shot, but they have to get out to a good start, and they have to kind of keep it close and then try to win it at the end. Course setup is definitely geared towards the Americans, no doubt about it. But there are some good guys off the tee on that European team. I mean, You got Rahm, Hovland, then you get Sergio, Casey, guys who play long courses really, really well. Casey plays long courses really, really well. So Lowry's
I have no concerns. Euro's very top heavy. I have no concerns with Rahm, Rory, Hovland, Casey, Sergio, Lowry. I feel like they can compete with anyone. And Poulter, I guess. I'll give Poulter the credit he deserves in Ryder Cup. So those 6-7 guys, I have no problem with. I feel like they can compete and beat anybody on the US.
Yep. They can. The problem is the depth, right?
You got Fleetwood, Fitz, and Hatton, typically good, but I mean, they're just terrible right now. Westy, he's old as fuck. I mean, he's older than the goddamn captain.
Yeah, he's old. I mean, they got to hide him. There's some guys they got to try to hide.
Bernd is lucky he plays Euro full time like a big pussy. If he doesn't get to play Euro full time, he doesn't make this. If he's on the PGA Tour, there's not a shot in hell he fucking makes his team.
All year I was excited to give the Europeans a chance here, and I was definitely going to bet them. But the automatic selections did not go favorably for them.
Oh, they needed Rose.
They needed Rose and like a
Who's
couple
the other guy?
Maybe it was Bobby Mack or somebody. But yeah, it didn't go well for him. But with that being said, I'm higher on the chances than I think most people are. I know besides the Golf Channel guys, I just think US probably pounds, but if they go out and they start underachieving and they start missing putts and they don't look great, is anyone going to be shocked?
I'm not going to be shocked if Euro wins.
That's my point.
I'll be somewhat shocked, but I'm not going to be like.
Yeah, I'm not going to be shocked. That's my point. So
I would condone a Euro bet. I just think there's a lot of value in the Euro number.
There is, and the way we're kind of going to attack this thing is not with the. I mean, we bet too much anyway for that even to matter.
Yeah, I'm just going to bet every match, and I'll take a couple shots on some props here.
Exactly. That's what we're going to do. So our plan, just in case you guys haven't heard it, we're going to try to go live on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah, when they announced the, I think Thursday is a big opening ceremony, and they announced the first. I think it's foursomes is first this year. The morning matchups they'll announce it Thursday.
Right. So I think, yeah. So I mean, I'm not really concerned about the outright bet part of it. I mean, that's our opinion on the match, but I think we're gonna get in 2018. I made a fuckload of money off matchups. I was pounding matchups, and I won a lot. I was betting a lot of Euro matches. So I think we can pick and choose our spots here, and I think we can do a good job of just knowing the right lines to attack, finding the value, and still winning regardless of which team wins in the end.
It was crazy in 2012 at Medina. US was pounding, right? I kind of stayed away from them. I wasn't going too crazy, and then Sunday came, and it was just like started betting every American matchup. It got fucking crushed.
I remember that. And I held strong there. I kept
fucking
going.
Rose had a great matchup with Phil. Phil, every time Rose would drill like a 30-footer, Phil would give him the thumbs up. I'm like, fucking Phil, what the fuck, man? We need a fucking point here.
Yeah, that was a great one. So I guess that's what we got. The matchups are going to be fun, and then we'll get in kind of the props that we're looking at.
So just for everybody that doesn't know the format, they play foursomes and 4-ball. Foursomes is alternate shot, you and your partner, once on each day. And I believe they announced foursomes were morning Thursday and morning Friday, and then 4-ball will be in the afternoon. So the Euros, I feel like typically play better foursomes because they grew up playing that type of golf. Like that's what they play in their club. They play a lot of foursomes.
Right. And
so that's their advantage. The US's big advantage is singles on Sunday, typically.
Right, and that's their best. That's the best part of the thing is the foursomes.
Do you think?
Oh, I think it's by far the best, most exciting part. That's what I love, the foursomes, because you got to actually make some good shots. And like, I don't like the birdie fest aspect of the 4-ball. Like you got to make a birdie on every hole. I like the grinded out foursome. I think that's awesome.
There's going to be a lot of birdies, man. A lot of birdies, especially there's some drivable par fours here. On one, I feel like Bryson, it's like 410 yards. I feel like Bryson's going to definitely in 4-ball. He's going to be fucking pulling that big stick out to drive that thing.
And Day won this thing in 2015, the PGA Championship. It was 20 under.
Yeah, a lot of birdies, but the wind is gonna be a factor here on Thursday and Friday. Singles is gonna be a ton of birdies.
I hope he gets some win because, I mean, think of a foursome with win. That's just a whole nother element. That's going to make it tough.
Yep. So what do you think, before we get into some props, what do you think is some of the pairings there? I'll give you Euro. You go Euro, I'll go US. You can take that side.
Okay. Yeah, well, this side's definitely more unpredictable. So I was hoping for a Sergio Rahm pairing, but apparently from what I've heard from a couple guys, it seems like they might not get along all that great, which I find a little bit surprising. I know you find that surprising.
Yeah.
They usually don't do the country pairings, which I think is fine. But if the skill set is perfect, then I think it shouldn't matter. Like, I think that would be a great pairing because you don't want to put a shitty guy with Rahm because he's not the type of guy who wants to play with a guy who isn't great. You know what I mean? I think he wants to play with somebody that he's going to help get wins, whether it's Hovland, right? So I thought Sergio would be a good pair for him. And I also don't want to waste Sergio because he's the fourth best player on the team right now, him and Casey. Like, you're going to have to rely on those guys. I don't want to hide him with Westy either. I want Westy on the sideline. And
Sergio and Casey are the two biggest guys for the Euros this week. Two
Absolutely.
biggest guys.
So I don't want to stick Sergio with somebody who shouldn't be playing. Same for Casey. And you can't do that with Rahm either, right? You know, there's definitely a thought to thinking they have way less talent, maybe trying to spread the guys out more and not mix a Rahm and Hovland. So I guess, so what I'll say here is I'll say, I think they're going to mix it up a lot. So
They typically do.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll see Rory Poulter at some point. Although that pairing, I don't think has been as historically successful as we think. I mean, I know they won that match in Medina, right? But Poulter kind of carried his ass in that match.
Poulter did carry this big time, dude.
Yeah, I watched it last night, so I'm refreshed on that one.
Poulter carried his ass. Rory was all out of sorts.
He missed a shorty like tap-in, and then Poulter had to make that like 20-footer downhill because of that. So
how cool was Poulter that day?
Oh, he was narrating the thing. That was a great. I suggest watching that. It was great. The Miracle of Madonna. He was narrating it on YouTube. It was good, really good. And I love the European team. You know, I consider myself somewhat of a European. I mean, my grandparents are immigrants, so I'm allowed to. But so I have no
nice paisan.
Yeah, it's Italian immigrants. So I have no problem. I'm not a. You know, I just enjoy the event. So I think we will see Rory Poulter at some point. Do you agree with that?
Kind of wondering what they're going to do with Vic, who they're pairing Vic with. Is it going to be Rory?
I think they might pair Rahm with Vic.
Really? Because they were going out today. It was Sergio, Vic, Rory, and Westy going out as a foursome.
I fear for my life they're going to put Sergio with Westy.
They used to play together all the time. They were very successful too.
Well, that's why I'm scared of it. I mean, it's not 2004 anymore. That was 17 years ago. But and Sergio was with Westy yesterday in his practice round 2, wasn't he?
That was their
press releases or whatever.
The press media for the week. That's who the group was. So I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, I'm very worried about that. If that happens, it's over. Put a fork in European. So okay, I think we might see Rahm Hovland. I think we'll see Rory. I mean, Rory's going to be a leader on this team. And the big thing comes down to him. So I think they need to put him with somebody with a little bit less experience.
So maybe Vic.
That would be a great pairing. I think Rory's hinted at before that he'd love to play with Vic. That would be a nice pairing. But
what about the Irish pairing? Lowry's never played in one of these.
It could be that, but I know the Euros like to avoid that.
Well, they played Casey and Hatton, English pairing.
That's true. They had multiple English guys, other English guys.
Yeah.
Right. So I think Rory Shane would be a good pairing. I mean, it's tough for me to predict. I don't know. I think they're trying to throw curveballs at everybody, including us and including the U.S. team. They're going to use every strategy they can to give themselves any type of advantage. The U.S., I think what you see is what you get with these practice pairings for the most part. Do you agree with that?
I agree. The only thing on the U.S., I think, all right, JT and Spieth are going to definitely play together. Good chunk. But I do think, I just got a weird feeling that they're going to put Bryson with one of them at some point. I think
They
those
could.
two guys are perfect guys to play with Bryson.
I agree with that.
Great short game. They always get out of trouble from 100 yards and in. That's where Bryson's going to put them. If Bryson plays foursomes, Bryson's definitely playing the 2-4 balls. I don't know if they're going to put him out in the foursomes.
I don't think they are. That'd be my guess.
Think they're not going to put him out at all in foursomes?
No, I think he's going to play 3 matches, the 2-4 balls in the singles.
Man,
They got so many guys. They don't have to.
it's true. Yeah, so Bryson will be with Scotty
Yeah. In
4-ball.
So who's DJ going to play with? Morikawa?
I was spot on with that, man. I told you a month ago, DJ's playing with Morikawa. They're both tailor-made guys.
That's a great pairing. It might be the one we're waiting for DJ, the one that works. That seems like a really nice pairing for him.
It does. Big time.
They have some
DJ's
leaderboard correlation too.
He's good with the long irons too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And then Cantlay next are an obvious team. And I'm pretty sure Brooks is going to play with Finau, and they had success in France with that those two. And then it sounds like Berger and English. I don't know if you're going to see much of Berger and English, but I don't know. I could see Berger playing with Brooks as well, just because of the FSU. They played together at FSU. I can see that too.
Brooks is just a dick.
Yeah, see, I think that's overblown too. I don't. That whole Golf Digest thing, I thought that was overblown.
Well, those type of guys are going to love to go after Brooks types of guys, but I think I don't know. I don't love the comments either, though. I got to be honest. I think
no, the comments weren't great, and they definitely weren't necessary. But I think once they get into a team room, I just don't. I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. No, it'll be fine. There's not gonna be any issues of it, and I'm sure he'll play fine. He's a great singles record. I mean, he'll do his thing.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got for props?
Real quick, this kind of goes with the props, so I'll wait. All right, so my 2 immediate bets before I even looked at anything, talked to anybody, I saw this and I was like, boom, I'm betting these. Was top Euro was Sergio and Casey. Casey was 10-1, Sergio was 11-1. Thought that was great value. If you look at, you can't bet Rahm at 3-1 or whatever, and then Hovland I think was 6 or 7. And with Hovland, the Europeans are a little bit iffy with the young guys. Like it wouldn't shock me this year they might have to just because of the lack of talent, but I don't know exactly what they're going to do with Vic. So, and he could be great, and I hope he is, but I just don't think there's much value on the line on his number there. So, I think the 2 bets, those 2 guys are the best, the Sergio and Casey, because if Euro is to compete, those 2 guys need to play great. End of story. And I think they will be competitive. I think they'll be competitive. So I think those 2 guys need to play well. And I think out of necessity, I mean, typical year, if you're a more talented European squad, you're taking the 45-year-old Casey and the 41-year-old Sergio, and you're playing them in 2-3 matches, and they're also mentors at that time. They don't have that luxury this year. That's their 4th and 5th best player by a mile. These guys got to go out there. So if they play 4 matches, 4 out of the 5, which I think they will, they have a great chance to be the leaders. And also, if the Europeans do get their ass kicked, which is very possible, 3 points might be enough to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen, I was looking at it earlier, I think DJ at Medina was the leading points getter for the U.S. with 3. Reed 3.5, and Glen Eagles 3.5 for Reed, even at Hazeltine, and they won. So yeah, 3 points can do it for sure.
So I think if they play in 4, and I think they'll play in 4, don't you?
Yeah, those 2 definitely.
They gotta.
They have to. I mean, Fleetwood. I don't know, man. Fleetwood, Hatton's in awful form.
Fitz is in awful form. All
Fitz
these guys
is in awful form.
Vernon Westy won't be playing much.
Yeah, I don't know. I like those 2 bets though, Sergio and Casey. Those are good odds. Throw a couple bucks on it. Top U.S. scorer, I would take shots on X Cantlay Spieth, maybe even DJ. If DJ and Morikawa, if they come out that first day and win, and they keep them together, even Morikawa would be nice. I think he was like 9-1 top U.S. scorer.
The question is, are they going to play the rookie in as many matches as these other guys?
if him and DJ come out and win, that's what I'm saying. If him and DJ come out and steamroll their first matchup, they're just like, we're gonna ride these guys.
That might be a great strategy because think
Number
about like
2 and number 3 player in the world.
if you think they're playing together and they're getting float out on Friday morning, like you said, it might be a great strategy. Think about like the Mollywood in 2018. They played well at the beginning. You bet both of them, and one of them's going to win. Like that I think is a strategy that you could employ here. And I think that's a good one because everyone's saying X and Cantley. They're going to be playing together. That's kind of the popular bet this week. But I think that DJ Morikawa team could be really sneaky. I like the pairing. And like you said, if they play well, they're probably going to continue to play. So I think that might not be a bad idea.
DJ was playing well at the end of the season.
I'm not worried about DJ at all.
Oh, remember, he played well at the tour. He played well at the BMW.
Yep. My initial instinct though was JT.
Yeah, I mean he's the favorite though. I agree. JT and Spieth are the leaders of U.S. golf.
Yeah, but the favorite isn't much. I mean JT's 7-1 and Morikawa's 9-1.
Yeah, I thought I saw 6.
Okay, I have a 7 available.
Okay.
But that's I mean, you know for a fact he's playing in 5 matches. You can say that about him. Can you say that about anybody else? And besides Spieth?
No, you can't.
You can't. So that's one point in his favor. And then you say him and Spieth are going to play together. So if they play well, they're both going to have a lot of points. Spieth's singles record in the Ryder Cup is horrible.
Yeah, JT's is
good.
JT has a great match play record. He's a great match play player. Makes a lot of birdies. Yeah, I like that. I might take a couple shots here too on final score. I was looking at US 17-11, 14-1, 17.5 to 10.5, 17-1. Not a lot of money here, but just a couple bucks. 18-10, 21-1. I thought those were some juicy numbers. Just some fun props.
Yeah, if you want to back the US and you don't want to lay minus 200, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely not laying minus 200 on the US.
No.
Maybe if I found like US -2, I would bet it.
I think they have -1.5 is like -130 or something. You'll get that. But another thing about Sergio I wanted to say, who I think he's going to play really well this week. Last 2 WGC match plays, he played great too.
That's right. We were on him.
I mean, this is one of the best seasons of his. This is one of the best seasons of the last 5 years for him. He made it all the way to East Lake, finished 28th. I mean, he's playing great. And
Sergio Casey, both Pete Dye guys as well.
Yep, and they both compete on these long tracks. I mean, the last 2 PGA championships, Casey's been in the top 5. Kiowa Island finished 4th. That's the longest course in major championship history. So he can play these long ones.
Yep, I agree with you. I like those 2 guys.
So I guess anything else?
No, I guess we'll save it for. I mean, we're gonna go heavy on the daily matchups, right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to bet every one of them, and I want to bet a large amount on every one of them, and just fucking sweat my dick off all day long.
Yeah, it's a great time. I love the Ryder Cup. So fun. Sunday's gonna be a blast. Sunday's one of the best days in golf. Sunday at the Ryder Cup. You just got fucking 12 matchups. You got everyone going. Action on all of them. It's just fucking great.
I remember the last one. I mean, when I bet Rahm over Tiger, that was like a great match to watch.
Yeah. And it's just so intense. The fans make it, man. It's just awesome. The Ryder Cup's the best.
You're gonna have Poulter getting the crowd fired up. It's gonna be good. I hope it's I hope it gets a little bit heated. I know they're usually pretty cordial with each other, but there's been a couple of years where you see kind of some back and forth. I hope we get that this year.
Hazeltine. I remember Rory complaining about the crowd the stuff they were saying at him.
That's such a Rory thing to do.
Yeah, right.
And then you had him and Reed going back and forth. That was just fucking awesome.
Yeah. So we'll put out nightly on. It'll just be on the. We're not going to do in between like a YouTube for in between. We'll post our picks for the in between 4-ball matchups, but we're just gonna have the nightly ones.
Yeah, well, the nightly ones, and then also like we'll kind of take a recap of the day. We're going to be live. Hopefully, a lot of you guys can just join us, throw questions in the chat, throw comments in the chat, like we did when we went live for the final round. When Henley fucked us there, but I think it'll be a fun thing. We'll kind of talk about what's going on in the day, and just kind of there's going to be things to talk about based on the first day and stuff, and each day. So it'll be a good time.
It's going to be intense. So
Yep.
let's get this party started. Mustache rides for everyone. Maxi mustache.
Hey, we all got a nice new pile of money in our pocket, so let's go fucking burn it on the Ryder Cup, baby.
Let's go.